Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa inyong lahat. Pag-usapan naman po natin sa recording na ito ang ating review material o non-current assets held for sale. Okay, so dito po makikita po, syempre sa video natin sa ngayon, we'll talk about the visual summary of IFRS 5 non-current assets held for sale. Okay, and then later on, we'll answer the MCQ theories. If I'm not mistaken, mas konti ito. 10 lamang po yata ito, no? And then, 10 lamang din ito na problem solving. Double check lang natin. Yes, correct. Okay, so let's recap our learnings on the non-current asset held for sale through this visual summary. Tandaan po natin na ito ay non-current assets. So, syempre, when presenting this non-current asset, supposedly, non-current. Nasa title eh. But if you classify it as held for sale, mababago ang ating classification. Okay? Kasi, if it will be held for sale, it is available for disposal. Now, according to IFRS 5, and IFRS 5 is the standard that covers this topic, no? Ang isang non-current asset, now, this may be a single type of asset or a disposal group. No? It must meet both the criteria to be classified as held for sale. Ano po yung criteria na yon? So you have two here. Availability for immediate sale and that the sale is highly probable. So must be available and probable. O pwede mong map, must be available and probable. So the first condition is that your asset should be ready to sell. It must be in a condition that allows for its immediate sale in its present state, subject only to terms that are usual and customary for sales of such assets. So malinaw, dapat available para maibenta. At pagdating doon sa sale, dapat highly probable. Okay? Anong sabi dito? It must be expected to qualify for recognition as a completed sale within 1 year from the date of classification. At para maging high probability yan, dapat yung company, yung entity, it must be committed na ibebenta po ito, must be committed to a plan of selling it. How does management exhibit this commitment? Dapat naghahanap sila, actively searching for a buyer, mayroong commitment, and within a reasonable price. Yun nga lang, mayroong mga pagkakataon that are beyond the control of the entity, is beyond the control of the entity, kung saan, hindi pa maibenta-benta doon sa isang taon na inalat para maibenta yung property or kung ano man yung non-current asset na yon. But even if there is an extension in the period, maaari pa rin natin, excuse me, na ma-retain yung classification as held for sale if the delay is not within the control of the company. Ibig sabihin, it's beyond the entity's control and you are still committed to sell the asset. So, mananatili pa rin sa non-current asset held for sale ang classification na yan. Okay? So, that's one thing that you really have to consider. Otherwise, hindi po natin pwedeng sabihin na held for sale yung asset na yon. Okay. Initial measurement. Now, pag classify po natin yung asset as held for sale, anong sabi? It must be measured at the lower or mas mababa sa carrying amount and hindi recoverable amount, Kung hindi, FVLCS, fair value less cost to sell or less cost of disposal. Cost to dispose. Kasi sometimes sa mga problems, you will encounter cost to sell or cost to dispose. Now, how do we identify? So, ito yung formula, The carrying amount is the minimum. Naka-formula Minimum, ibig sabihin, alin yung mas mababa dito sa dalawa? Carrying amount, prior to the classification as held for sale or its fair value less cost to sell. Kapag ang fair value less cost to sell ay mas mababa sa carrying amount, we need to recognize the impairment loss. Parang yung yung carrying amount at saka yung recoverable amount. If the recoverable amount is lower than the carrying amount, we also need to consider your impairment loss. Dito, kung ang mas mababa ay fair value less cost to sell, yung nasa libro mo, that's the carrying amount. O, di update natin yung balance, no? Impairment loss ang i-recognize. Okay? Now, ano pa? For subsequent treatment at saka yung mga reversal. Bakit? Ano ba gagawin kasi natin? During the period na classify mo yan as held for sale, tigil ang depreciation. Tigil yung amortization. Okay? From the time that the asset is classified as held for sale, no longer depreciated or amortized kahit na ginagamit yon. But we have to consider any possible reversal of impairment kung sakaling nag-increase yung fair value less cost to sell mo. Okay? Pero you can only recognize reversal of impairment up to the cumulative impairment losses recognized nung classify mo siya as held for sale. Okay? So, inaalaw po natin yung reversal of impairment. Sir, paano kapag hindi ko nabenta, no? Or nag-decide yung company na tanggalin ito as held for sale classification? O, di pag hindi na na-meet yung criteria or yung decision ng management is ibalik na sa dati, di i-reclassify mo yan sa original status. PPE ba yan? Di pa 16. Intangibles ba yan? Di pas 38. Investment property ba yan? Di pas 40. Okay? Paano? You will measure it at the lower of the carrying amount. Okay, eto kara na po ito, ano? Carrying amount before it was classified as held for sale, adjusted for depreciation and amortization that would have been recorded. Ibig lang po nitong sabihin, kung sakaling hindi mo yan classify as held for sale, tuloy-tuloy po yung amortization or yung depreciation yan. Nung date na classify mo siya as nung nag-decide ka na hindi mo na siya i-classify as held for sale, magkano na dapat yung carrying amount niyan? Yun dapat, yung carrying amount na yon. O kaya, yung recoverable amount at the date nung nag-decide na hindi na siya i-classify as held for sale. Lower amount between the two. Yun po yung ating magiging amount na i-recognize nung binalik na natin siya sa kanyang original classification. Okay? Now, in terms of financial statement presentation and disclosure, naka-separate line item po yan ha. Nakabukod po yan sa PPE, sa intangible, sa investment property. And they are, eto ha, klaro dapat tayo dito. Ipe-present dapat natin yan as current assets. Kaya natin sinasabi, non-current assets held for sale kasi yung classification niya, yung presentation niya will become current. Kahit na yung original niya na classification ay non-current siya. Okay? Tapos, kung naka-disposal group yan, yung assets and liabilities, hindi po natin pwedeng i-offset. Ipe-present pa rin natin sila separately. Hindi naka-net. No? Okay? Now, ito lang, dagdag lang din, mandatory disclosure, a description ng non-current assets or disposal group, the facts and circumstances, and the expected manner and timing of the disposal, and any gain or loss recognized on the measurement to fair value less cost to sell. Okay? So, dito na po tayo sa mga review questions sa ngayon, beginning with question number 1 sa ating MCQ theory. Okay, ano ang tinatanong po dito? What is the fundamental criterion? Criterion, isa lang, no? That must be criterion Pag more than one, criterion na yun. Okay, pero tingnan natin yung problem. Alin daw dito? Yung fundamental criterion na kailangang ma-meet, no, para ma-classify natin siya as held for sale. Letter A, the management must have approved a plan to sell the asset within the next 3 years. Uy, ang haba naman nun. 3 years. So, mali po ito, no? Pangalawa, a sale contract must be in place and the buyer must have paid a non-refundable deposit. O wala po tayo pinag-uusapan na payment ng non-refundable deposit. Yung pangatlo, the asset must be available for immediate sale in its present condition, subject only to terms that are usual and customary for sales of such asset. Tama po yan. Double check lang natin yung letter D. The asset's fair value must be reliably measurable regardless of its cost to sell. O wala po tayong ganong criterion. No, going back doon sa ating pinakataas, ang criterion po natin ay ayan ready for sale, no, at saka the sale is highly probable. Okay? So the answer to question number 1 is letter C. Now, proceed po tayo sa question number 2 on depreciation or amortization. Ano naman daw yung accounting treatment sa pagde-depreciate or amortize ng non-current asset once na-classify mo na siya under PFRS 5? Letter A ba? Depreciation ceases when a binding sale agreement is signed. This is incorrect. Okay? Hindi kung kailan nagkaroon na ng pirmahan ng kontrata. Letter B, depreciation continues but is calculated based on its FBLCS. Mali po. Sabi natin, depreciation ceases. Letter C, depreciation ceases immediately upon classification as held for sale. Yan po ang tamang sagot. Okay? Again, hindi po natin dinidepreciate yung asset kapag classify mo siya as NCA HFS. Alright? So, proceed tayo sa question number 3. Yung high probable criterion daw for classification as held for sale is considered met when? Letter A, the entity intends to sell the asset but has no firm buyer yet and still completing major repairs. Okay? Ito meron kang intention to sell the asset. Although wala ka pang nahanap na buyer, but if you are still committed, okay lang yon. Pero may sinasabi siya dito still completing major repairs. No, walang na-mention about that. Okay? Letter B, the asset is actively marketed for sale at a price significantly higher than its fair value. Okay? Ang sinasabi natin yung sale should be customary, so dapat reasonable. For letter C, the period for completion of the sale is expected to extend beyond 1 year due to typical market conditions. Ang target natin dapat 1 year. Pero pwede naman mag-extend if that is beyond the control of the company. Yung letter D, appropriate level of management is committed to a plan to sell the asset and an active program to locate a buyer has been initiated. Okay? Hindi naman kinakailangan na tawag dito, may mahanap ka agad na buyer as long as you are committed. Okay? Now, number 4 po tayo. Abandonment and idle assets. Paano naman yung treatment natin ng mga inabandon na asset o yung mga idle assets? Okay. An entity decides to permanently close a production facility. Hindi siya ibebenta, but certain operations related to the facility meet the criteria for discontinued operations. And mind you, under PFRS 5, ang pinaka-complete title niya ay non-current assets held for sale and discontinued operations. Okay? Separately, another machine is temporarily taken off due to operational issues. Which statement best reflects the proper accounting treatment under IFRS 5? Excuse me. Letter A, parehas daw ika-classify as held for sale kasi tumigil na daw yung paggamit. This is wrong. Okay? Kasi yung isa idle lang, hindi mo pa naman yan binibenta. So bakit mo siya ika-classify as held for sale? Pangalawa, yung production facility daw classified as held for sale while the temporarily idle machine continues to be accounted for as PPE. Okay? Letter C. Tignan natin parang tama, pero tama nga ba? Letter C. Neither the production facility nor the temporarily idle machine should be classified as held for sale. But the results of the facility's operations may be presented as discontinued operations if the criteria are met. And letter D, parehas daw ay kailangang i-account as discontinued operations from the date they stop being used. Okay? Alright. Ang tamang sagot po dito ay ito. For the asset na abandoned, ito, yung facility, hindi mo yan pwedeng i-classify as held for sale kasi hindi naman siya ibebenta. Okay? At yung isa, excuse me, not because the asset is temporarily idle, no, kailangan mo na siyang i-classify as held for sale or held for disposal. Ang tamang sagot po natin ay letter C. Okay? Tandaan po ninyo, no, revisiting your past 16, di ba? Temporarily idle asset, continue pa nga rin yung depreciation, no? So, PPE pa rin dapat yon. Okay? So, I hope clear po tayo dito sa number 4. Dito naman tayo sa number 5. Number 4, abandoned assets. Ito naman, abandonment ng plan to sell the asset. Okay. Merong, so alin daw dito yung sa mga statements, no? So, yung common natin na mga tanungan. Yung entity, classify ang machine as held for sale at tumigil siya ng depreciation. Currently, na-determine ng management na hindi na probable, hindi na highly probable ang sale at hindi na nami-meet yung criteria in IFRS 5. So, anong gagawin? Una, the asset is reclassified to PPE or another appropriate category. This is correct. Tama naman po yan. Pangalawa, the asset is measured at the lower of its recoverable amount and the carrying amount that would have been determined had the asset never been classified as held for sale, adjusted for depreciation. Tama din po yan. Pangatlo, depreciation is resumed prospectively from the date of classification. That is also true. Balik ka na, no? Resume ka na ng depreciation mo. Excuse me. And number 4, the asset is remeasured at fair value. Any difference taken to P&L. Mali po yun. Wala po tayong pinag-uusapan about any adjustments to fair value. Babalik mo yan sa CARA. Diba? So, correct answer is letter C. Okay? Pag na-reclassify natin, it does not mean remeasurement at fair value. Okay? Kailangan lang natin yung fair value sa pagka-classify natin as held for sale. Okay? Pero kapag in-exit mo na yan sa classification as held for sale, balik ka na doon sa CARA. Okay? Ayan. Number 6, question on reclassification or measurement. Alin daw dito yung tama sa mga statements, no? Kapag nireclassify mo na siya, pabalik sa non-current asset status, alin dito yung tamang measurement basis? Si entity, nag-classify siya ng held for sale at tumigil ng depreciation. In the current period, no longer meets the criteria and for held for sale classification. Okay, letter A, measured at its carrying amount before held for sale classification with depreciation prospectively resumed, no, from the reclassification date. Mukhang tama, di ba? Letter B, asset is measured at its fair value less cost to sell at the date of reclassification. Any difference recognized sa P&L. Tama ba? Letter C, asset is measured at its fair value at the reclassification date, subject to an impairment assessment on under IAS 36. Mukhang tama din ba? Yung letter D, amount is measured at the lower of its adjusted carrying amount, assuming continuous depreciation and its recoverable amount, with depreciation resumed thereafter. Yan po ang pinakatama. Sabi natin, lower of the CARA. Okay? So, tama naman ito, kaya lang incomplete. Hindi po fair value less cost to sell. Hindi po fair value. Kung hindi, recoverable amount, whichever is lower. Okay? So, that's for question number 6. Number 7 po tayo, disposal group. Ano naman ang tinatanong dito sa number 7? For a group of assets and liabilities. No? Yeah. Kasi covered din naman siya under PFRS 5. Pero tignan lang natin. To be classified as held for sale, the measurement rules are applied to letter A, only the assets with the group that are not covered by other IFRS. Letter B, the disposal group as a whole. By comparing the group's carrying amount with the group's fair value less cost to sell. Now, excuse me. Letter C, each individual assets and liabilities within the group separately. And letter D, only the non-current assets within the group. The liabilities are ignored for impairment. Okay? O, anong tawag? Anong sagot natin dito? The answer is letter B. We consider the disposal group as a whole. Ko-compare natin yung carrying amount ng group versus the group's fair value less cost to sell. Okay? For a disposal group, kung meron man tayong impairment loss, okay, sulat ko lang po dito. Note na lang, no? Ayan. Pero paki-take note na lang, ha? Note tayo dito. For a disposal group, any impairment loss, okay, if any, okay na yon, no? Is determined by comparing the total carrying amount, okay, of the group to the total fair value less cost to sell of the group. Ayan. So, pa-take note po nito dito sa number 7. So, kung meron man tayong kailangang i-recognize, we compare the total carrying amount, okay, and the total fair value less cost to sell. All right. So, that's question number 7. Proceed po tayo sa question number 8. About presentation na po itong number 8. Na, how should non-current assets classified as held for sale be presented? Letter A, remain daw. No. Sabi natin, may reclassification tayo dyan. Letter B, presented as a single separate line item under current assets. This is the correct answer. No? Yung letter C, single separate line item under non-current. Hindi. Lilipat mo nga. Letter D, they should be reclassified to current assets but merge. Hindi. Separate line item yan. Okay? So, that's number 8. Number 9 po tayo. Presentation pa rin po ito, no? Paano daw natin i-account yung liability kapag part siya ng disposal group? So, anong gagawin ko doon sa related liability? Kasi pag disposal group, meron kang assets, maaaring may liability na related. So, damay-damay yon, no? Nininet ba? Letter A, sabi dito, netted daw. It's not netted. Okay? Letter B, liability should be presented as a separate line item under current liabilities. This is the correct accounting treatment. Okay? The liability should be measured at fair value and any changes in fair value should be recognized in profit or loss. Okay? Presentation po yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. So medyo lumayo siya, no? Pangalawa, meron tayong basis, di ba? Whether individual assets yan or disposal group na may related liability, we should follow yung measurement. Okay? Yung ating, ano na nga ulit? Yung ating measurement. Ayan minimum ng carrying amount at saka yung fair value less cost to sell. Okay? So, kaya hindi po appropriate na sagot yung, anong number na tayo? Number 9. Yung letter C sa number 9. Yung letter D, the liability should remain classified as non-current tapos with a note disclosure. Hindi po. So, number 9, the appropriate answer is letter B. Okay? Now, last question po tayo. For number 10. Alin daw sa mga sumusunod? Ito disclosure, Which of the following sets of information is required to be disclosed in the notes? Okay? Hindi pa nabebenta yung disposal group at meron kang na-recognize na loss on measurement, no? So, A, B, C, or D. The carrying amount of the disposal group, the fair value less cost to sell, and the cumulative impairment losses recognized since acquisition. Okay? Yun nga lang, no? Pagdating dito sa mga disclosure, medyo tricky siya. Kasi mukhang tama naman sila lahat. Pero kailangan mo kasing basahin yung ating standard. Okay? Or yung related notes na meron kayo dito. Letter B, a description of the disposal group, circumstances leading to the expected disposal and its timing, the gain or loss recognized and where it is presented in profit or loss. Sir, mukhang ito yung pinakamahaba. Yan ba yung sagot? Letter C, only the gain or loss recognized Oh, bakit hindi ito justified? Yan. Only the gain or loss recognized on classification as held for sale and the expected date of completion and a reconciliation or letter D pala, a reconciliation of opening and closing carrying amounts and comparative disclosures. Class ang tamang sagot ay letter B, pinakamahaba. Kidding aside, no? Yan po yung sinasabi ng standard na kailangan mong i-disclose. Okay? So, yan po class, yung ating mga sagot dito sa MCQ theories. 10 items lang ito, mas konti kasi mas maiksi lang. No? Let me know if you have any questions or clarifications. Hanggang dyan po muna tayo sa recording na ito. I'll see you on the continuation.